Hey there guys, it's Kyle with Dirt Bike Channel. It's early in the morning, so you can probably hear my voice. This is the first time I've spoken today. Everyone else in the family is sleeping and I'm down here editing videos. The bike, the footage that you're looking at here was when I was riding the Sherco 300 SER. This is the bike that I gave away back on Labor Day. And the footage was shot in July. I'm just kind of getting around to putting the rest of it out. It's funny because I've got so much footage that never really sees the light of day. Even though I only go riding every week or every other week once, I still end up with a lot of footage that never sees the channel. But riding the Sherco was one of my favorite. It was one of my favorite bikes that I reviewed. I mean, because it surprised me in so many different ways. And then this, it was just straight down. Like, I can't tell you how steep this was. The GoPro just doesn't do it any justice. And then it was kind of thick. There was a ton of scrub out here. So it was just kind of a fun ride. Something that I don't often get to do. And then at about the 6-minute mark or so in here, you guys are gonna laugh because these videos are some of these videos are so long. About the 6-minute mark, we started going down. Tyler started taking me down some switchbacks where a lot of them were you had to stop and drag the bike around because the switchbacks are so bloody tight. They're more for hiking than they were for dirt biking, and so it was like impossible to get around some of these corners. And some of these really tight, very steep, very loose switchbacks, I need more practice on. Tyler was working me on them. This is up in his neck of the woods, and he knows these trails really well. And so he really towards the end of this ride, he really started to open up a gap on me. Tyler's a phenomenal rider, so opening up a gap on me isn't necessarily something that I'm not used to, because he'll do that from time to time. But down towards the bottom, especially after I stop the video here, towards the end of this thing, he just kind of ends up gapping me on a lot of these switchbacks, and I'm going, that's definitely a deficiency. It's something that I don't have a ton of practice with, and I need to practice more, is just these really tight switchbacks when it's super steep. But it's hard because you won't be able to tell on the GoPro, but it's so steep that if you lose your front wheel, you're going to be like dragging the bike and expending a lot of energy. So you're really wanting to be very careful that you don't drop that front wheel off of something and have to like expend a crap ton of energy to get it back up.
The foot from the peg. You know, there's something to be said about a bike that just doesn't do anything wrong. There's not one thing about this riding this Sherco that I don't like. Is it the very best bike I've ever ridden? That's debatable. It's got more vibration than the KTMs, the new 2017 KTMs. I would give the edge for my preference on the front fork and the shock and the motor to the KTM. It's just, I'm riding them back to back. We've got one right here, Tyler's on it, but notwithstanding that, this bike is just really solid. I like how it handles in every situation. I really like the gearing. It's a higher first and second gear than a lot of the other bikes in its class, like a KTM XCW. That's a tight turn, tight switchback. I think what I'm going to do is this. Oh, I didn't quite get that pivot turn all the way around. There we go. But yeah, it's just freaking solid bike. You know, and if you are the type of guy that wants to try something a little bit different, you don't want to follow the crowd, you don't want to be with the Orange Brigade, you know, KTM Brigade, dude, I say go for the Sherco. This thing is a solid bike. I can nitpick on a couple of things. I don't like how it's got this power switch up here on the handlebars that you have to turn off, otherwise your battery will go dead, and that's a major issue because you don't have a backup Kickstarter, you know. By the way, this is actually a really steep trail, guys. On the side of a cliff here. So yeah, it's got great power, good power delivery. It's not like gonna bite your head off. Smooth power, plenty of it, 300 torque, you know, and for some guys, they might want to gear it down a little bit, and that's totally cool. So stinking steep off the side of that. Do not want to drop a wheel. Disappeared here. Dude, that is straight off, gentlemen.